Welcome to Popup to Powerhouse, the podcast where side hustles turn pro. Here, we're pulling back the curtain on what it takes to build a standout, profitable brand in the event industry. From pricing with confidence to landing luxury clients, I'm sharing the wins, the setbacks, and everything in between, so you can turn your passion into a powerhouse business. Hey friends, welcome back to Popup to Powerhouse. If you're here, you're probably ready to level up your balloons from doing them for fun to actually building a profitable business. But first, if you haven't heard my story about how I turned one graduation party into a six-figure business, go back and listen to episode 1. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 biggest mistakes that keep balloon artists stuck in low-paying jobs and how to shift out of them so that you can attract higher-end jobs and get larger installations. All right, so let's jump into it. Mistake number 1, you're marketing yourself as a hobbyist. So let's be real, you're probably posting, but it's not converting, right? And I get it. You're showing your work, you're putting yourself out there, but there's a huge difference between just posting your work and actually marketing your business. When your marketing still feels like a side hobby, your audience is probably going to treat it like one too. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. You're probably posting low quality or dimly lit photos. You don't have a professional booking system. Hello, DM requests. You're sharing your work, but you're not framing it in a way that tells people why it matters or what makes you different. So here's the truth. Visual representation matters. Low quality and dimly lit photos are going to attract low budget clients. And if your bio or your website doesn't clearly show people what to do next, they're just going to scroll right on past you. So let's talk about how to fix it. Okay, so first thing, obviously, is to go to Instagram and update your bio because that's likely where a lot of people are already finding you organically. So head to your Instagram bio and make sure it's super clear what you offer, where you're located, and how to book. So here's a little pro tip for those of you that are trying to break into those bigger markets. You can put that market in your Instagram bio. So for example, I knew that I wanted to be in a larger market, and I'm about an hour south of Seattle, Washington. So when I started out, I put that I was based in Seattle, Washington, even though I was an hour south, because I knew that that is where the high-end clients and the bigger jobs were going to come from. And that's where a majority of my business comes from to this day. On top of that, I personally refrained from putting the city in my business name. And there were a couple of reasons for that. I didn't want people to think that that was the only area that I serviced or did business in. And also, I started doing travel installations. And so I think when you put the city of where you're living, it can sometimes hinder that, not always, but it could make people think that that's the only area that you service and offer. Number 2, curate your feed. Only post what you want to actually be booked for. We all get those installs that pay the bills, but they aren't exactly the type of jobs that we want to be getting. So you only want to post the jobs that you want to get. And if you're just starting out, that can seem a little bit difficult because you're like, I just want to post anything and everything. But a great way to start posting and getting the jobs that you want is to do collabs and to also do styled shoots. That was a lot of the things that I did in the beginning that kind of got my name out there. But when you do any of those collabs or styled shoots, make sure that you keep creative control over what you're doing. Don't just be thankful that somebody asked you to be part of it. Have some say-so in what you want to produce, because that is, you can then show people like, this is what I do. And you're posting it on social media, and then people will start asking you to do that. Make sure that you're participating in the conversation of what the installation of the styled shoot or collab ends up looking like. Also, if you're not using it, get a program like Adobe Lightroom or some sort of editing app to edit your photos and videos so that you can easily brighten them, make them look more professional in a much quicker time frame. It was a total game changer for me in terms of quality and time. And you can buy presets on Etsy for Adobe Lightroom. So it makes it really quick to edit your photos and videos. Number 3 is use a clear call to action. Tell people exactly what to do. Now, we're still talking in your Instagram bio, and you want to tell them how to book with you. So it needs to be very clear there. And please don't ever give quotes via DM. One, it feels very unprofessional and again, keeps you in that hobbyist mindset and gets people thinking of you that way as well. But also, if you ever have dreams of growing a team, accepting DM requests is not the best system to do that. You want to create an online form that lives on your website. You get clients to fill it out so that you can gather all of the details that you need at once to be able to provide them with a proposal. And then 2, it helps to copy and paste that and put it into your client management database. Okay, so this one might be a little bit controversial, but it is about having call to actions in like your stories and your posts. I personally refrain from saying, book me now, come book me here. Like, it's not that I've never said it. And I think this could be personal preference. And I don't necessarily think that you can't do it. What I would say is use it sparingly. If you use it all the time and are like, book me now, it almost comes off as desperate or that you don't actually have clients. So you want to use it sparingly and in a way that's like, we're booking up fast. Make sure you get yourself on our calendar. So you want to use it in that way. When I was doing marketing in my previous positions and jobs that I had a marketing mentor that helped me learn the difference between outbound marketing and inbound marketing. So outbound is definitely that, like, buy now, come get it, like take action now. Where inbound marketing was where you're creating a marketing plan that pulls people in and gets them to ask you, how do I book? How do I get on your schedule? And hopefully your work is also doing that. So that was how I wanted to position my marketing, was that people were so wowed by it that they came to me. That was the inbound part. And they were like, we need to get on this person's books, or this is who we want to hire to do it. When your page looks and reads like a business, then people will start treating it like one. Mistake number 2, you're underpricing out of fear. This one hits so close to home, I'm sure, for so many of this. And this can be for anybody in the event industry that is just starting out. So not just in the balloon industry, but any aspect. So common thoughts sound like, no one in my area is going to pay that much, and I'm not that good enough to charge that yet. But here's the truth. Underpricing isn't going to make you more bookable. All it does is attract the wrong client, and it's just going to burn you out faster. I've said this all along. If we all in the industry, and this is specifically talking balloon industry, but if we all just charge the same amount across the board, then people would just hire us for our personality, our style, and likability. It honestly makes me sad to see other artists charging less just because they don't feel confident, especially when the person next to them in their same area is charging more for the same work. When you charge less than you should, you're just teaching your clients to expect more for less, and that's not sustainable. One of my personal mottos since I started is that I do not discount my work, but I will always over deliver. Okay, so let's talk about how to fix it. Number 1, use a formula-based approach. Add up all of your materials, add up your time, and your profit margin. Always include profit. And don't forget to build in that oh shit tax, as my dad likes to call it. That's for like when balloons pop or the install takes longer, or maybe you needed more hands than you actually thought to begin with. Or what just happened to us is we got to the install and the drapes weren't up and we had to wait an hour, and I had 4 staff that were just standing there waiting until we could actually get started. And I had to eat that, and that comes into my profit. So you always want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room so that you're not eating into your profit and eventually making no profit. Quick pause before we jump back in. If you haven't downloaded my free guide yet, you're seriously missing out. If you're ready to stop undercharging and book those premium clients that you dream about, I made something just for you. It's my free Charge Your Worth guide. Inside, I'll walk you through the exact mindset shifts you're going to need and real strategies to move from side hustle to powerhouse brand. Download it for free at thejamietaylor.com/free guide and take the first step in building the brand and creative business that you deserve. Number 2, focus on value, not hours. You're not charging for balloons. You're charging for your creativity, your expertise, and the experience that you provide. Remember, luxury clients and corporate clients expect to pay more. They associate higher prices with better quality, more professionalism, and trust. If you want to attract premium clients, then your pricing has to reflect premium services. All right, mistake number 3 is that you don't have a signature style. This is a big one. If your work looks like everyone else's, then you're just going to blend in, and your ideal client doesn't know what makes you special. The brand that you create should always make people say like, oh my gosh, that's confetti balloons, or whatever your business name is, even before they see your handle. So here's how to define your signature style. 1, I think, starts with your branding and your visuals. So if you're trying to go for corporate and luxury clients, which obviously is what we're talking about with Popup to Powerhouse, right? Is how to get those large scale powerhouse events. If you're going after luxury clients or big brands, then your branding, your logo, and your colors need to reflect that. So, what does that look like? Luxury is often simple, it's intentional, and it's confident. So, clean fonts, think timeless looks. Although I do think that you absolutely can create a luxury brand with color. It's about restraint and consistency, not just neutrals. And that's what I've tried to do here with our podcast is how do we create a luxury vibe and feel with our podcast branding, but I want it to be colorful and fun because that's just kind of what the event industry is. So that's definitely what I've tried to do and create here. Number 2, show your personality strategically. Okay, so this one's a little bit difficult for me. And I think that this is a personal opinion of mine. And it's something that you have to have your own conversation with yourself in terms of what you want to do. This one is a little bit hard because how much is too much? How much of myself should I show? Should I show my personal life? You see a lot of other people showing certain aspects and different things, and maybe it works really well for them, but maybe it doesn't feel all that natural for you. So I struggled with this for years because I did want people to kind of get to know me, but I also didn't want my personal life to be on display. And so I sat down and got really intentional and realized that I know that I wanted to show my work. I wanted to show some behind the scenes. I wanted to show some humor and some fun. And here and there, I might sprinkle in some of my personal life. Like I've posted about my son playing hockey because he lives in a different state than us. And so it's just kind of a fun conversation. But I don't post a lot of it. And I try to keep things very professional, but fun. So I think that you have to really sit down and just kind of get intentional and listen to yourself and what feels natural and what feels right. Oversharing can sometimes blur the boundaries and can turn away clients. So you just want to be a little bit careful with that. And you just need to find your comfort level and stick with it. Number 3, you want to develop your go-to signature style. So when somebody thinks of like this, I want a beautiful luxury, like high-end looking balloon installation, not a kid one, who would I go to? Uh, I think a lot of people tend to think like balloons, and it's slowly getting there where people are like, oh wow, like you can do some really cool things with balloons that aren't just birthday parties and bachelorette parties, right? So people are slowly kind of getting there and seeing that you can really create some beautiful work that feels high end and you can do it for like weddings and bridal showers and corporate events. So maybe it's the way that you mix texture, maybe it's color and the sizing, maybe it's a combination, but you have to kind of figure out like what your recipe is and what the mix is and what that looks like. So I have a background in interior design. I have a degree in it. So I knew when I started out that balloon colors was going to be my thing. I knew that if I could bring the right colors together, that I would have the best garlands. I do remember thinking that. And I feel like it has served me because I help clients when they pick it out, especially with corporate companies, because sometimes they have very like contrasting colors. And so you want to find those blended colors that it's like you will still showcase them, but without it completely looking kind of juvenile. I also think balloon sizes are key. So when I first started out, I was barely using any 5-inch balloons. And this was back when like Qualitex was a brand, if any of you guys remember them. But they are now out of business. And so I didn't use like any 5-inch, but we laugh now because it's like every year the 5-inch balloons continue to multiply because I believe they really make the garland and they are the ones that really create the shape. So the goal is to be recognizable, not just talented. Real quick, if you're a balloon artist who is tired of competing on price and is ready to step into higher end work, I created Luxury Balloon Academy just for you. This is the exact process that I use to go from small jobs to attracting premium clients and large scale designs. So if you're ready to elevate your brand and your pricing, check the link in the show notes. Okay, so let's recap. The 3 biggest mistakes keeping balloon artists stuck in low paying jobs. Number 1, you're marketing yourself like a hobbyist. Number 2, you're underpricing out of fear. Number 3, you don't have a signature style. If you fix just even one of these, you'll start attracting higher end clients who actually value what you do. So if you're ready to get out of low-paying installs and start building a real luxury balloon business, then you're going to want to join the waitlist for Luxury Balloon Academy. You'll get exclusive access to our pre-launch event and a special discount code when enrollment opens. You don't need more talent, you just need the right strategy. I'll see you next week. Now, a quick ask. I want to keep bringing you these free educational podcasts so that you can build the event business that you want. You can make that possible by simply sharing this episode with your friend, following us on your favorite platform, and leaving us a review. It takes just a moment, and it makes sure that I can keep bringing you the best quality content so that you can go from Popup to Powerhouse.